Yeah. That's always lovely. And for a handful of bug fixes, we love that. I mean, a couple of bug fixes were actually kind of
Yeah,
nice, but I always hate that it's always the bug fix patches. You're like, ah, come on.
I completely get it. What was the bug fixes?
It was
I
like
didn't get
stuff
the
like
chance to look.
Yeah, it was like Brigida's rally bug was fixed. I think there was some other adjustment as well as some of the other things. I had looked at them yesterday, but I forget what they were. But yeah, a couple of them were
Gosh.
relatively impactful. So, but for the most part, just relatively small changes. That it is what it is. So
Oh, I didn't. Oh, that would explain why I was doing so much damage to that hog.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
on his headhunter perk, if ignoring the
Mm-hmm.
tank
The
passive,
tank passive. That
wow.
Yeah. Big stuff, big stuff. So then there was like the Crusaders fire perk for Ryan that was bugged with the way that it was leaving fire strikes and then some other minor stuff. But yeah, it's annoying. It was
Yeah.
also annoying too because we did some pro analysis and so all those replay codes from the finals just all got wiped. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah, so I mean it was pretty bad for me, but there's some like pro content creators that like got really screwed by it. So but it is what it is. So how are you doing overall? Okay.
Overall, I have been doing pretty well. I've actually gotten really close to masters on console, specifically on Junkerqueen, which feels good. Uh, I have not been having as much success on PC.
Sure.
I don't know if I don't know if it's because I'm being way too aggro, cocky, and overall kind of a part of my language, an ass.
Yeah. Makes sense. I think just transitioning to PC is always going to be a challenge, right? Like the game is the same game, but you're just trying to make those mechanical adjustments. You don't have the same amount of repetition, so that transition is always going to be a little awkward. Just takes time and practice. That's basically all there is to it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I figured like since they are the same game that the ranks are the same, but I think a lot of the issues that I have going from console to
Hmm.
PC and back again is quite literally the way console players play is completely different versus how PC players
Interesting.
play.
Interesting. What comes to mind?
I noticed that at least on console, specifically because I remember doing like quote unquote victory lap on a friend's alt account so that I can get her up to diamond where she belongs. And I've noticed that nobody knows how to turn around. It's like nobody has headphones; they're just using TV speakers.
Yeah. True.
It's it's frustrating.
True. And it definitely hinders like the situational awareness, right? Like knowing where people are, like that's much worse with console.
Oh
Even just
yeah,
stuff like turning around is hard, and that's actually a real big balance problem as well.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Makes sense.
I'm looking at like a couple of other replay codes. Just random side note. Sorry,
Yeah.
ADHD
No
breaking.
worries.
Go.
Yeah.
Forever.
No worries.
I got one King's Row game that I know I could have won,
Sure.
and I know there was one where it was like Hollywood should not have been as big of a struggle as it was. That I remember specifically being like, why did it take so long for me to like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
get that win?
Okay.
Uh, let me
Whatever you want to look at
just
works for me.
uh, I believe like King's Row might be better just
Yep.
because it's a loss.
Sure. Okay. I mean, as long as it's a close game, makes sense. Couple of quick questions here, just to kind of run through your form. You said
What's
you were
up?
climbing around High Diamond Masters on console, correct?
That would be correct.
And you were basically a Junker Queen one trick for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Now, why Junker Queen? I mean, I love Junker Queen. She's one of my favorite tanks. But for your choice, what do you really enjoy about Junker Queen so much?
Apart from aesthetics, she's rewarding. Like allows for me to become a better tank player in general. She
Okay.
rewards like a hyper aggression, but also
Mm-hmm.
smart aggression in
Yeah,
general. But I
understandable.
also appreciate that she plays in a way that I would never get from Hog. And Hog, as much as I understand his hero fantasy, is literally landing that hook and just body blocking for from the enemy.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Makes
appreciate that. I like a fair fight. I like it, getting my hands dirty.
Yeah, yeah. And I think one of the nice things about Queen too is, you miss that Gracie. It's like you still got stuff to do. There's still lots of things that you can juggle. It's not a one and done with what you can provide value wise. Okay, so Junkerqueen,
Yeah.
in terms of playtime, goal wise for you is you just want to improve. You just want to get better at the game. I want to be able to reach maybe even champion if possible. So talk me through your goals and then talk me through your training approach, your training schedule. How are you approaching practice right now and even in the last few weeks?
In terms of practice, I've been mostly like in the higher ranks, anyways. I've been more or less poking a lot more as opposed to just like charging in because like a lot of the time like I don't have a Juno or a Lucio to help me like go in.
Sure.
And I've been trying to be smart about like there's one habit that I've just recently like noticed that I do is I activate my abilities before I've even like reloaded.
Right, right.
And that has been getting me killed, that has been getting my teammates killed. Overall, not exactly great, but I am aware that I can just like I need to like take a second.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, okay, makes sense. In terms of your practice routine, though, like and how much you're playing, because your goals are very lofty. So maybe for right now, like let's just focus on getting a little bit better from where we are. And I really, really like starting with practice goals. So where do you feel like you're doing with practice time and routine and consistency, warm up, and so on?
In terms of like warm ups, I like going to like the training range specifically to like practice like like landing my knives.
Yeah.
I've gotten like about like maybe 45% accuracy on that so far.
Okay.
But like that's also probably not the best way to, practice my knives.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Continue.
I believe like it's also like I've been working on like knowing what perk to pick when
Sure.
because the minor perk it's obvious you go with the one that's like unstoppable.
Yeah.
And
basically,
like
yeah.
yeah, that one's obvious. The major perks have been honestly dependent on who has been bugging me the most the entire match. If it's like
Sure.
the tank, I go for like Savage Satiation.
Yep.
Or the other one, if it's like a squishy that's been targeting my backline, which is Willy Willy.
Yep. Yep. Makes total sense. I mean, I like the logic there.
Problem is, I feel like sometimes I make the wrong perk choice, and that kind of debilitates me.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, it's kind of the risk reward. You have the responsibility to choose the right thing. Sometimes you don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, and honestly, like I've been having a really bad habit of like fat fingering like the ultimate when I shouldn't.
Sure. Sure.
Because I'm thinking that it's faster than it actually is, so I can't just like
Right. Right. Still that cast time.
ult on point. Yeah.
Understandable. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. So want to work on being more consistent with that, making the right perk choices. Makes total sense. Okay. Now, in terms of how much you practice here, like I said, your forum says you do get a decent amount of play time right now. So how is that time spent? Is that quick play? Is that ranked? Is that all Junkerqueen, or is there a little bit of that? You mentioned Diva or Mantra.
Ranked specifically in competitive, like competitive 5v5.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've been playing.
Okay.
For, and I haven't really like played 6v6 mostly because like Junkerqueen is god awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, God, I think 1.25, not even that for like self healing.
Yeah, yeah, it's not great. Yeah, it's challenging. There's a lot of other better tanks in that mode for sure. Okay, makes total
Diva's
sense.
probably the better pick in that mode in general.
Yeah, in a lot of situations for sure. Let's talk through your training efficiency though, because you're getting a lot of hours right now. Do you feel like those are all relatively high impact hours? Do you think it could be better with how you're approaching training right now?
Because be very much better about that because like I don't have any like specific JQ replay codes. I've been scrounging around for them. Well, not replay codes, like games or not games. Sorry, brain.
No, it's fine. Take your time.
Custom games specifically,
Yeah,
like where because like there's the break training that I remember seeing. There's I believe a Reaper training that I've actually tried out.
The Winston
nothing
Primal
for
Rage one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything for JQ. I'm wondering if it's like just doesn't exist, or if nobody's really like designed anything for it.
Yeah. I mean, there would be one with like landing Gracies would be interesting. Have you ever tried the Vaxta warm up code, the SATA code, before?
I have, but it doesn't. It feels like that it doesn't really like reward or like provide an understanding of like how to aim my stuff. It just
True. Yeah.
everyone's constantly like, yeah, they're going back and forth, but they're not player movements as opposed to.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. Yeah. So maybe something to consider there is then, okay, then the takeaway is that it's just the most consistent training time is just going to be playing the game, right?
Yeah.
So then this kind of goes back to my initial point there. It's just like, do you feel like when you are playing ranked, do you feel like you're really fully cued in, focused, giving full effort, because like if you're playing for long periods of time, it's really difficult to maintain that focus, right? So
Like I do that, yeah, but it's
Okay.
more like towards the tail end of like my sessions where like I feel myself slowing down. It's like maybe just one more
Right.
game.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to do something other than Junkerqueen in those situations, or something other than 5v5 competitive?
I tried 6v6, and the only time I've actually like done anything is like Diva,
Yeah,
and Diva's
yeah,
been like
okay.
my main focus. I
So
haven't
six,
really played 66 in general because like
yeah,
nobody's
yeah,
in there.
yeah, makes sense. So 66 not so much of a thing. I guess what I'm looking for is something that's a little bit more casual focus, something that's a little bit more fun, so that you
Uh,
can encourage yourself to hard grind in 5v5 role queue, get a couple hours in. Like you said, you start to tail off. What you still want to play Overwatch though? So what is
yeah.
that outlet gonna be? You know?
Uh, Sometimes if I can and I remember to, it's arcade.
Sure.
Arcade's been fun. Stadium is always fun. I've got a whole build dedicated to
Nice.
specifically support tank.
Sure.
I can show you that later. But
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, but
Okay.
other
Yeah.
than that, I haven't really done much. The the campaign. That's what I also like do sometimes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love the campaign.
Well, let me kind of encourage that then, because I think it's like we want, even if you're aiming for like, let's say the highest rank or the highest role, right? Like you want to get really good.
Yeah.
You really only have a few hours a day where you can give it full focus, and so we want to make sure that you're not diluting your practice by kind of having bad quality practice. I want high quality practice, get a couple hours in, especially just Junker Queen, and then from there, if you just do whatever you want from there, however you want to practice, something more relaxed, something more fun. That's kind of going to be my goal for you, if that makes sense.
Makes 100% sense.
Yeah, now we'll give you some stuff to work on in game, but I would say a good 70-80%, just to pick an arbitrary number, of my students benefit the most from cleaning up their training schedule more so than anything else, right? More effort,
Gotcha.
more consistency, more training, and so on, and just kind of going from there. Now, along that lines, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to hard grind or have to practice in Vaxa. It's mostly just, are you consistent training government, and that's just, or just consistently training in practice, and then that's basically it, in ranked. That's basically it. So nothing more than that. Okay, let's keep going here. Weird tendency to be over aggressive and feel like I play queen tends to do that. I blank myself sometimes because I overwhelm myself. Okay, talk to me about aggression and being overwhelmed, and maybe add anything else that you'd like into towards there.
So when it comes to like being overwhelmed, I noticed that like whenever I push up, like everyone like because I'm I'm the sole tank. I kind of like get everyone to like to snap right onto my location and just like fire everything in their power. And while yes, that is the tank's job, but at the same time, I feel like I do it way too much, and I forget to turn around sometimes to figure out where everybody's at.
Yeah.
Even though I've made it a habit to turn around and make sure that everyone's like behind me, and normally they are, but sometimes I feel gaslit by my own teammates and they do their own thing, so I end up dying.
Yep, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so kind of staying in tune with what's happening, where things are going on, that's important. We'll talk about that. Being aggressive, dealing with the attention as it's your job, but knowing how to deal with that appropriately. Okay. Anything else?
Not necessarily off the top of my head.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Any questions before we take a look at this replay code here?
Who do you think is an underrated hero to start the game out with?
Why do you ask? You think you're picking up another tank?
Well, Potentially, but I'm also thinking like if I want to invite more people to come on to Overwatch, I want to figure
Oh,
out
I
where
see what
to
you're
like
saying.
yeah.
I would say most likely a character with mobility, probably the best thing that you could possibly do. So whether they're playing, support, DPS, or tank, I think the way Overwatch 2 works is I would encourage like a Winston, I would encourage a Diva, I would encourage a Kiriko, a Wu Yong. I would encourage, Soldier. I would encourage Sojourn. I would encourage Genji. Now, a lot of those characters, people will be like, oh, those are kind of a little bit more difficult to play, but a lot of those guys don't have very complicated kits. There's not a lot of really complicated buttons, and I think it's important to kind of learn how to position and take aggressive space. So I would encourage people to play whatever they like, but if they're really not sure what to try, I try something with a little bit of movement.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I've looked at a whole bunch of those characters. I'm like, those characters seem fun, and
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like
Even
people would
Queen,
have
right?
the most fun. Yeah,
Even
Queen is
very
so
fun.
fun.
Very fun, very fun. Okay, let's take a look here. So, Kings Row, was this a relatively close game? I know you said it was a loss, but
It was a pretty close game. Like a lot of it, like I feel like it was my fault that we
Sure.
lost like a lot of the time because I go into Reinhardt, right, and I know that Queen eats Reinhardt alive, but it's the backline that I usually have a problem with. So it's like I feel like
yeah,
I overestimate my ability to go up against a Reinhardt when there's like a Kiriko and an Ana like
Right.
in their backline.
yeah, absolutely,
So-
absolutely. So, what are Queen's strengths? Would you say?
I would say like she is very, she's very like high like sustained in terms of like if you land your knives, land your carnages, like if you are able to like keep up that uptime, she will not die.
Right, right.
But-
It's situational, right? You gotta hit your shots. You gotta hit your conjures. You gotta hit your Gracies. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she doesn't have verticality. So if there's someone like up above, you gotta hit the knife and yank them down, or have to take the long way around, go up the stairs. And as a tank, you don't typically want to do that
Okay.
unless
Yeah.
there's like nobody else that's doing it.
Right, right.
I
Takes
guess.
a long time to clear. Mobility seems pretty limited. It's like more like unidirectional rather than kind of going everywhere. Okay, what are
Yeah.
her weaknesses? So you talked about her weaknesses, lack of verticality, and you brought up backline. Now that's an interesting one. So talk to me about her back, like her range. Like you look at like your matchup versus Ana, your Kiriko, your Torb. How are you playing those duels? How do you win those 1v1s? If you look at it as simply as that.
With Torbjorn, if I'm doing a duel against a Torbjorn, I typically try to like take out the Torb first,
Yeah.
if I can, because like the turret, he's just gonna get like free headshots off of me,
Right, right.
and
a lot of damage.
I get yeah, lots of damage. Reaper, it's kind of like know when to knife, know when to carnage, know when to shout. It's just a matter of like the Reaper versus JQ's mostly like a duel of like using which cooldowns when.
Sure. Very strategic. Yeah, makes sense.
Kiriko's just a little bastard.
Yeah,
I swear.
I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah. Small hitbox that is like somehow smaller than Tracer's, which is makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I have like this weird tendency to like have like I give myself recoil as opposed to just letting her just shoot.
Yeah.
So Kiriko is very weird to duel into because she's
Yeah,
not
100%.
only got survivability, but also she's got high burst with her like kunais.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, sounds good. Now, what would you say is your effective range compared to some other characters? Where do you like to operate the most? Obviously, here is specific, but
As of like just to put it in perspective, like if I were to go like have that duel with, I believe that's a Reaper right there. Probably like from this gate all the way up to like the corner of point right there. Probably would be like my effective range because that's from what I understand like 20 meters, and I believe that is where JQ's shotgun resides.
Yeah. But it's hero specific. That's the crucial thing, right? Like if I'm thinking about playing versus an Ana, I'm going to eat her sleep dart and nade if I get too close. But also at the same time, she's freaking cooked for my carnage if I get it, or just my shots, or my melee. Even my melees are stronger.
If
But
nobody
then,
helps her, she's gone.
right. But then you compare that versus to like a Reinhardt, and all of a sudden things get a little weird. What's your matchup looking like versus Ryan?
That depends on if they swapped into Ryan or if they started out as Ryan.
That's a good answer. All right, give me the nuance there then.
Specifically, I've noticed that if I have Willy and they have a Ryan, I can't like swap perks to go into Savage Satiation because
True.
Savage Satiation allows for me to survive against Ryan's a lot longer.
In his face.
Especially in his face because that he's a in-your-face hero.
Right.
Unfortunately, if I were to, or rather, fortunately, excuse me, misspoke. Fortunately, if they start out as Ryan, I can go with a Savage Satiation,
Right.
and normally it's in my favor, but at the same time, it's just more dependent on where he is in the eyesight of the support line.
Yes, makes
And
sense.
For right there, that is very much a good the sideline for Ana.
Sure, makes sense. Makes sense. The way that I like to look at Junkerqueen is like getting close to characters is a really good thing, but sometimes you have to earn the right to get close by using cover really well and then utilizing your Gracie to open up those opportunities. One of my first Junkerqueen coaching sessions I did back in the days, I kind of coined the term, it's not very creative, but it does the job, fishing. That's really what Junkerqueen is. You're fishing for little advantages. A little shot there, a little Gracie there, a little corner there. Chunk that Reinhardt, maybe pull the Ryan so he has to shield a little bit, but then we get an extra 300 shield break, and then I hook that on, and then I can't go for it right away, but I'm going to force that sleep dart, I'm going to force that nade, and then maybe I can go later, and you're just really looking for a way to snap the door shut. And you said it with Ryan with the Savage Satiation, but even let's say Ryan, you don't have Savage Satiation, and you've just broken his shield, or he's really low, you could just get in his face and ruin his day, but you just have to earn it. You got to chip some of his HP down, you got to chip some of his shield down, you got to force that Suzu, you can even kill Reaper up close if he doesn't have Wraith or doesn't have Health Pocket, you get what I'm saying? So the way to play Queen is to be really efficient with your cover usage, with patiently walking from corner to corner, and always using cover well, and always trying to really aim your Gracies, because Gracie is how you create advantages. The difference between Roadhog and Queen is Roadhog hits a hook, that person might die. It's just one and done. It's boring, right? With Junkerqueen, Gracie is more about how you create an advantage. It's not necessarily how you're going to get a kill right away. It creates an advantage that means you're more likely to get a kill. Basically, think of Roadhog Hook as you won the lottery, whereas Gracie is more like you're going to have a 1 hour free financial consultation. You know what I'm saying? So it's your chances of doing better after that. Yeah, exactly. Like you're going to be at a pretty good spot afterwards, but you got to be patient. You're going to keep fishing and keep fishing and keep fishing. So, okay. Any questions about Queen before we get into it?
Nothing at the top of my head.
All right, I do like your mythic. I think it's one of the more underrated mythics in the game. So
it's so good.
I don't think I've ever had another skin equipped for this character, to be honest with you. And this is what we talked about the warranty. You know what I'm saying? Should this Ryan die? No, he shouldn't. But what is he going to have to do? He's going to have to shield.
Have to back up
and shield and shield and shield and shield and back up, which then is going to allow you to kind of walk out of the choke. Because they're going to lose all presence on this choke, and then now the Reaper's isolated. Now you can force his Wraith. And you kind of see what I'm saying? It's like cleaning up the mess, right? Right there, perfect. And so if you look at his shield, he's already missing about 600 shield just based off of that one cooldown. Which then means Torb's going to push up, but the rest of his team's not pushed up. And so then, if you hit another knife here, right there, perfect, good try. It's really just about fishing, right? Which is why the mechanic side of thing with Junkerqueen is so incredibly important. See, I don't mind you looking for turret there, but that you got to ask yourself, is it worth fishing for a turret here or worth fishing on the angle here instead?
Probably on the angle.
Right? So find your next angle, find your next corner, and go fishing. That's the rule. I like the vision there, right? Because you saw an opportunity. You just mistimed it. That's all. Hey, we went fishing and we got it. Now, this is really important, and this is where a lot of Junkerqueens screw up, and even good Junkerqueens, right? Because you don't have consistent mitigation, your mitigation is situational and so on, right? Even when you're up one, you got to be really careful about moments like this. So right after you kill the Reaper, looking good, we're playing the corner. You baited Sleep Dart there. I don't know if you noticed that. You're on the corner, and she shot it and missed. But right now, all is not well. Because despite you getting the kill here, you have no cooldowns, and you don't have mitigation now. So you kill this guy. What should you do right now?
Corner.
Hold the corner and just keep shooting. Hold the corner and keep shooting. Be patient.
I think I push forward right here, and that's what gets me killed.
So you made a great point earlier. You talked about intelligent aggression, smart aggression. And this is those moments, right? This is that moment right there. Now, there's different types of things that you can pay attention to. One is enemy cooldowns, like being more patient until you've seen those cooldowns. But I'm going to actually adjust that statement to something that I think that's even more important. I want your aggression based primarily around your cooldowns first.
Okay.
So right now, if you had Shout and Carnage, even if they had cooldowns, you probably could push forward. You might get punished, but you'd get at least value out of it. But because you don't have your buttons, your value is essentially just your gun, and that's it. So only use your gun until you get those cooldowns back. Mm-hmm. Killing the Reaper costs you a lot of money, so you need to wait a second and let your eco grow back. You get what I'm saying? It's like an economy game, right? You're playing a farming simulator, and you didn't even realize it, right? So, but yeah, just be patient here. Be patient. So right here, my main problem is that how wide you're swinging right now, right? We're using our gun, we're using our melee, but I need just to do that here. Don't let the Torm on a Kiriko get value while you're waiting for your cooldowns. Just shoot, because you might not win this cooldown trade. You see it right there? You might lose, and that's the silly aggression right there. That is an unearned death, and even if it results in the Ryan's death, which it doesn't look like, we didn't need you to die there, because look at the bottom right of our screen now. We have everything now, right as we started to die. And so this would have been our opportunity to leverage our advantage to Shout into Carnage, to Gracie, to go to the next corner. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see it.
Initial aggression, good, because you had money. You didn't have money anymore, you kept spending, and now you're cooked. That's the problem.
It's the rush, I'm telling you.
Right. It's good try with the Gracie. We still have our cooldowns, so we just stay in the corner and look for an opportunity to push. Now, this is probably going to be you're a little wide from the corner, but you do have money, right? So we're okay. But then now the money's gone, right? So we've created an opportunity. Didn't quite secure the kill. Obvious question. Where do I go? Obvious answer. Back to the corner, right? And you do. That's good. Because now that Ryan, he made the same mistake you did. He doesn't have any money. He's got no shield. He's got missing a fire strike. He's got no shatter. He's even missing some HP. So Ryan is now the vulnerable one here. So even though oh no, I got slept. Oh no, it's because he didn't have any resources to punish you. Do you see that? So you might even live this. Okay, they used Nano first. It's a good try. My main criticism here was how this was less bad than last time because you pushed with your resources. But I would like you to do this right here from a corner. You only need to close the gap if you're looking for Carnage. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, there's no real reason to. At least versus this guy.
Gotcha.
Probably better to sit here, to shoot, to maybe shout Carnage, but to look for something else if you can. Okay, let's keep going. But yeah, that one wasn't as bad. You at least had some resources, so I'm not going to be as upset about it. I
am noticing something, though.
What are you noticing?
I shout to engage in a way that is like unintuitive for everybody else on the team. Because I'm assuming that when I shouted to my second death right there, nobody was nearby to take advantage of that shout. Sure. So there was no overhealth given, no speed, nothing.
Can you control whether your teammates are positioned in a way to get shout value?
No.
So then you don't worry about it.
Right.
That's a true moment of eyes in the back of your head where you legitimately, in that moment, you do not have time to be aware of your teammates' positions. There's too much going on your screen right now, so you only need to focus on whether would I like to have shout. And for me, yeah, sure. It's mitigation, it's speed. It's a faster hitbox, which means that it's harder for them to hit shots on me. Yeah, it's good. So I actually don't mind that shout. I appreciate that analysis, but that's not really something that you can communicate with these guys. And if you think, look at your team here, but does anyone, even the Cassidy, really want to play around you anyway? Not really. You're in Freya, Juno, and Zen. You know, these guys are going to be poking around from high grounds and stuff. They're not going to be getting their hands dirty with you. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
Shout, if it helps your team, is oftentimes happenstance. Your team will benefit from you being fast, you know? Good fish, gets blocked, but that's okay. Next corner. Where's your next corner from here? Obviously. Same crap, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and we have money too, so we should go. Good. Small adjustment, right? Where should you be? Same thing. Just here. Do not get this Torb Kiriko something to shoot for free, because these guys are allowed to shoot you without peeking your sniper. You see what I'm saying? You got to hold that corner. Hold that corner. Nice. Good shots. Yeah, great shots. Really good shots. Nice job. Good stuff. Good cap. Okay, let's see what we got here. I like this. This is you going, yo, you've overextended. I'm going to help you out, bud. You know, that's good. And as long as we stay in that corner. So this is where you can decide, right? So this is, again, that moment where I need you to be more decisive. Where can you be here? Give me 2 options.
Probably either in that hallway to the left, so I can go, if I need to, go around, get the health back.
Yeah.
Get that Reinhardt from right there.
Sure. You could either go here in the corner and beat the crap out of the Reinhardt, but at least we're shooting from cover, or we could be in here and then shoot from cover. But do you notice that I need you on a corner, and I need you on a corner now, because the corner doesn't compromise your damage output. You see it? Are you shooting this Ana right now? No. So then why are you peeking the Ana right now? You're just giving her something to shoot. You see it? So from here, I just want you here, or I just want you here. That's the only thing. And I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse here, but that is super, super important when you're playing this character, and you know it.
Oh, yeah.
So this is just, that should have and could have killed you, right? Why?
Yeah.
Because you're just far from cover. That's it. You got naded, you got pinned. All that was avoided. Well, at least partly. But if you just simply been near a wall. Good pocket from your team. Good use of your ult. And
there's a couple of things that is with my version of the game. Steam had issues.
It's not a problem. I figured as much. There's always some sort of tech issues going on. Yeah, nice ult. Good stuff.
Yeah.
No criticisms from me from that ult. I just think use it whenever you can. Whenever you can hit 1 or 2 people, it's fine.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hit that lamppost.
Happens to the best of us.
Okay. I did go back for the Reaper, even though I shouldn't have.
Well, the main thing here is, where's your corner? Where's your corner?
Yeah.
There's nowhere freaking for you to play here. You're completely destroyed. It's over. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you don't have a lot of counterplay about whether you get shattered or not, but you can at least get shattered where it's really awkward for anybody other than Ryan to go for you. So let me ask you, where would you have preferred to be corner-wise here with where this fight's going to happen?
By the bar.
Yeah, just by the bar, Go off to here, or you could even take an off angle here. This is really good right here. Either one of these are fine. Just take an angle. That's been the consistent theme from you. It seems like you got a really good strategy of what to do with your cooldowns. Mechanics are looking pretty spicy. It's looking okay. But there's a lot of unnecessary damage during these fishing cycles. This is good.
I'm feeling you.
This is good. And you can even do it here, right? You go forward, you shout, you carnage. We need to either back off or push forward into the room, right? It's weird. You're like, why am I pushing into a... Because you need cover, right? You need cover. So even here, it's the same... You see, it's the same thing again. You see it again?
Yeah.
It's those burst values, those snipes, those carnages, those sleeps, those nades, that you have no way of outplaying this because of where you are, right? If you get pinned in here, you can live because your entire team's going to dump damage in this Rhine, and it's going to be no Cassidy, no Ana, no Reaper, no nothing. Just you and Rhine. You see it? So I have very little criticisms from how we're approaching this, with the exception of that cover usage. And that, because that is consistently what's been your problem so far. Okay, let's keep going.
I'm thinking that I use cover a lot more than I do, but clearly I don't.
Yeah, it's not terrible. There are moments where you are using cover here, right? But this is, if our goal is to be better at what we're doing, this is the lowest hanging fruit that we're seeing, 4 minutes in, right? For sure. I like us clearing top. I don't mind the shout. I see the envision there. Shoot from this corner here. Cart is technically cover as well, so this is good. You see the difference here? Do you see the difference with, like, okay, they're blowing a bunch of ults, we might still lose the fight, but look at the difference here. We're winning this Rhine trade, Hainu gets popped, Shatter gets popped, and we just dodge both. Look at our HP.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's great. So, like, yeah, I mean, we can't really protect our team from that because they weren't using cover, but at least you were, At least you did your job. That was good.
Yeah. End up going back to spawn because Cass decided to chase me.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Shout there's fine. Rotation's good. Ult from our Juno. Good shot with a Gracie. I mean, Gracie's just not always going to be consistent versus Ryan. That's just kind of how it goes. And they're not taking any angles, so there's nowhere to avoid the shield. But that's fine. This is good. Duck in towards the right. Okay, we shout out behind cart. It's a little scary. There's the cover usage. There it is. Good job. And now he overextends because he doesn't use cover. Savage Satiation, obviously. It makes total sense. Okay. Yep, go get her. Good stuff. Okay, we keep walking forward. Great knife. There's your fish. That forces him out. That's very good. And now, especially with ult, you might even just be able to hover around here. You know, you could do all sorts of silly stuff with Queen when you got a good corner. So I don't like this. You see, what's funny
I
is
don't like that either.
Yeah, like we were just playing in the open, right? And in terms of like safety, this is much safer, more cover, but also in
Especially
terms
since
of,
there's a health pack, right? That's a mega.
But think of it also from threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is freaking scary. We could do the exact same thing with a Gracie from here. Whop! And be like, come on, I dare you guys to come after me. I dare you guys to come after me, right? It's so scary. They got to worry about point. They got to turn their back to your team. So you're kind of shouting here. You are technically being quote unquote aggressive with cooldowns, but you're doing so in a location just that's kind of hovering in the open, and you didn't even really get anything out of that, right? So I think what we're doing is we're looking for a way to quote unquote soften them up before we use our ult. But imagine how many more cooldowns you could force from the side angle here, right? So maybe the first time that we've really talked about angles with Queen, there are situations when you can hard flank, sure. But a lot of times it's just more about kind of getting yourself off to the side, pull attention off to the side, because you're really hard to punish off to that side. Yep, it's fine. It's fine. Yep.
Yeah. This is the point that we end up losing.
Here's my feedback right here. One simple feedback here. I need you to choose a squishy and kill that freaking squishy right now. I'm noticing a theme with you is in the devolve fights, in the panic of, you know, Overwatch, is that you have a tendency to go for the big fat guy, the guy with muscles, you know what I'm saying? And right now, that is tempting, but there's a lot of things that can save him. Nano, Suzu, Nade, right? None of those are going to be enough for this guy. None of these are going to be enough for, okay, maybe she's too far, but Reaper, dead. Kiriko, dead. You have Shout, Gracie, full HP, the whole 9 yards. You got me?
Yeah, I get you. I when I was in the game at the time, I know I tended to like tunnel vision and go into like a specific target, and I'm stubborn enough to not really like see other alternatives.
Sure. That is. Yeah, go ahead.
Widening that is probably going to be something I need to work on just in general.
Yeah, and I'm going to make it even easier because I understand with console, like, situational awareness is just much harder. I've played on console once before, and it was just impossible. I had no idea what's going on around me, right? So what I encourage you to do is, it's okay to fixate. Like, let's not worry about that too much right now. Let's make sure that you're fixating on something that's easier to kill. Because you're going to miss a lot of shots on a Kiriko, but she's still going to die faster than Reinhardt, right? She's still going to die faster.
That makes sense.
You know? So, it's okay. I really don't think that this is bad, though. Like, this is... I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think he played okay. The Carnage missing is really tough.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of moments where it's just like, oh man, like literally so close. So, okay. Honestly, I think your strong points right now, which makes sense. I mean, you're what? Masters? High Diamond?
High Diamond, about to be Masters, yeah. I wouldn't call myself a Masters player, to be quite honest.
It's a peak, right? It's a peak, right? Nobody's there.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. I am looking at like how you're using your cooldowns. I think for the most part, it's fine. You look pretty comfortable playing this character. You have hours in this character, and it shows, right? You're looking for Gracies. You know kind of how to use Carnage. We're not randomly shouting most of the time. Your ults are pretty reasonable. You look comfortable with the weapon. You look comfortable with the melee. What the problems are more like fundamental problems with how you're playing Overwatch as a whole, not Queen, if that makes sense. It's things like
that makes sense.
The cover usage, things like the devolve fights, target priority always going towards tanks. Things like maybe we're not thinking about off angles when we get an opportunity. Just basic stuff like that. That's less to do with Queen specifically and more to do with just playing Overwatch effectively. Make sense?
That makes 100% sense.
I'll keep an eye on more micro stuff for Queen, but we'll keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just like, you brought up like how many hours I put into Queen. I just looked over to my overview and I went, oh.
A lot of hours.
Yeah.
I bet. A lot of hours.
301 hours.
Okay, I've got bad news for you, my friend. You are still way behind the curve. You want to see something bad? Look at those hours, man.
Oh no. That doesn't even include your Overwatch 1.
Yeah. Well, actually, this does include Overwatch 1, but sadly, I don't have the ranks from Overwatch 1, which sucks. But yeah,
Damn.
it is what it is. But yeah, long story short, Queen stuff is okay. I'll have some micro stuff, I'm sure, once we look through, get a little bit more exposure. But the low-hanging fruit here is just fundamentally how we're playing the game. You know, like right now, I think I don't mind you playing here, but if I see my Cassidy playing up a little bit, I'm probably going to go find a corner that's a little bit closer. Like maybe not all the way here, but I would love for you to be here, a little bit off to the side here, and maybe rotating through here. You know, it's that off-angle pill. You see it? This is not going crazy or flanking, but it is a little distraction off to the side. You got me? It gets you close without overextending. It's a good cover usage. And so sometimes I find you very much like north-south playing. I want you northeast, southwest, you know, just a little off to the side here and there. Because that means you could deal with things like this easier. It means that you could look for things behind Ryan's shield, or if Ryan runs it down and focuses you, he kind of turns his back to your back line. But you notice that you're not completely isolating yourself from your supports. Your supports can easily heal you. This is good.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Let's see, this is good. I like this a lot. Because that's really the reason it's good is because he was right there. Maybe my criticism here would be more micro. So let's look at let's give you some micro to work on, okay? First things first, can always work on being a little bit more deliberate with your Gracie. So my criticism with this Gracie is that you've played 300 hours with this character, and yet the Gracie arc is just simply too low for the target you're going for.
Right.
By a centimeter. By a centimeter, right? But it's important to note that didn't get strafed, because sometimes you're just going to miss, even the best. But that was just simply too low. That will never hit, right? In addition to that, I would prefer from you to utilize your own feedback when it comes to pushing Reaper if you can. Don't run him down necessarily unless he's in your face. Use your gun. Use your next Gracie cooldown. Poke him out. Grab the mini. Poke him out. Poke him out. That way, instead of using 1-2 cooldowns to get a Wraith out, you can still have 1-2 cooldowns to deal with this. You see it? Something to consider. Something to consider. So we can be a little bit more patient with that matchup. Because now we don't have any cover and we don't have any cooldown. So that's the number one priority. Where on earth do I need to... What on earth did I just watch?
Oh, this was awful.
Gracie yoinked him. My guy, he's just like Mary Poppins all of a sudden. What is going on? I must go find my people. Like, I don't know. Like, my people need me. I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, his cover usage was worse than yours because at least you had a car. He had nothing. So that sucks. Also, your Reaper did a really good job distracting that backline as well. So your Reaper kind of getting the flank for him. Yeah, okay. Same thing with the angle, right? I just want to see angle maxing. Angle max, angle max, angle max. And that applies to really every tank matchup, every matchup, period. Good. That's not really your profile. Okay, so this is important. I wouldn't chase Reaper. This one, obviously I was not a big fan of this one, but at least you're the only guy that could deal with him. This one, you just have to trust your team. I know it sucks because you're like, oh my god, my Zen just freaking died, right? The reason your Zen died is because he just got obliterated by the Orisa. That's why, right? You just can't deal with this. Because if you go backwards here, what's going to happen on the left side of our screen?
It's Orisa that's going to come up the front towards the middle. Cassidy going up the
Look at the cast. Look at the Ana. Look at the Orisa, right? Like, so,
God.
You lose a lot of space. Now, it's not the end of the world if you can find cover again, but you do have to be careful with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good Gracie. Good Carnage. And you get Suzu out. And it's the same thing here, right? Where's your cover, right? You just got to be here. Yeah, just let them get a tick. Let them get 2 ticks. We don't care. It's okay. Just don't die. This is you should probably die here. You probably should die here. If not now,
I will die here.
Oh, whoa. No, never mind. Okay, your backline just goes crazy. But you see, like your HP just melts. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Your backline just popped off. Your Reaper's taking these crazy flanks. But yeah, does that make sense? Just be patient. Be patient. Junkerqueen is the opposite of a instant value tank, right? Even when you're popping your Carnage and Shout, it's oftentimes after you've fished a little with Gracie and you've popped a couple of shots in their head, you know? Be patient, look for opportunities. Especially when you're playing versus like Orissas and Rams and Ryans, like you got to soften them up a little first. You did such a good job versus Orisa early because you kept pulling her out in the open and forcing her javelin spin, you know? So she was down a cooldown before she even walked out the choke. Okay, hold this angle here. It's the same thing here. Don't chase. It's too far. Because what's your responsibility now?
Hold the corner right there.
It's right here. It's these suckers, right? We got to hit this Gracie. We got to yoink her. We got to force this Nate Sleep Dart. Cut off the follow-up here, you know? Because you go back, you shout back, and now, oh man, right? Hold the angle, hold the corner, right? That's a really important fundamental rule of Overwatch, no matter what tank that you're playing, is you very rarely want to go backwards, very rarely. You might go lateral or sideways or, you know, but you got to be careful about backing up because a lot of the times, I coach coincidentally Diva players this all the time. They're like, I got to peel. They go back. Enemy team walks forward and kills their team. Like, oh, what happened? Well, your job is to protect your team by holding this lane, to contest this, right? Fight the Queen, fight the Kiriko, fight whatever's here. And you only really go back if you don't have any cooldowns or you're going to die. Then yeah, sure, go back. But you're going back to keep yourself alive. Because here, do you see how this Diva's scary now? Do you see how this Kiriko all of a sudden is under more pressure than she was before? Because you gave them that space. Okay, let's keep going.
Anything in that knife, that defense matrix.
Yeah. That's one of those matchups where it's almost impossible to land a knife on her, so I just wouldn't try too much. I try to look around her. Make her at least use her matrix to the side. It's a little deep. You got her Suzu, though, so maybe you could use your ult here. Yeah, I love that. Beautiful. Yeah, again, no complaints with the ults. I like how you use a couple of your cooldowns, kind of force some pressure, and then wait for an opportunity. Nice job. Okay. I assume the shout is for somebody else. Yeah, that's a good shout. Just back up to the next corner now. See, we're getting a little excited here because we're like, oh, we're winning really good, but we really just need to play that corner. Oh dear, there's our ECR HP.
It's that hog hook landed on it.
Yeah, I mean, and even if your hog hook didn't land on you, you still force Suzu. You're still not in a good position. Relax. Find your corner. Oh, pop the Gracie. Pop the Carnage. You're fine. Because this guy's going to turn the corner, instantly discorded, instantly burned by your Cassidy. Your Kiriko is still going to have Suzu. Problem here is just cover. Cover and angle. That's it. And so we're losing HP. Not to incredible hog play. Just to a couple of shots from Ana, a couple shots from Torb. That's what's killing us, you know? And so anything that goes poorly here is just because we've took a really bad HP trade earlier. Here's what I'm going to do. I think we should go ahead and move on to Hollywood here. Just maybe give it a change of scenery, maybe, if that works for you.
Yeah, I get you. That one's a much better, like, I think I do a lot better in Hollywood, specifically just because, like, well, obviously I won, but I feel like that going into the God, Hollywood sucks on Queen. I'm gonna be so for real.
It does. It really does. I'm actually curious what the statistics are. I would say probably a 2% win rate drop, at least on second point. Let's find out here. So if we look at controller win rate here in Americas, Queen is up at 53.1, so she's doing great. I mean, third point's okay, but let's see what it is. Yeah, it's a solid 1.5% lower on Hollywood. It's a good dip down in terms of her win rate. Makes sense, right? That second point's miserable. Any questions so far, by the way?
In terms of like when it comes to like going up against like hogs, for example,
yeah.
Like hog specifically, like how should I approach hog versus every other tank? Because I've always had like
don't get hooked
issue. Well,
don't get hooked. I know it sounds forehead, but the way to look at it is that like if he hits the hook, you're in a really bad hole. Okay, like you're in a bad spot. However, right. It's a lot easier for you to get small advantages over Roadhog than it is for him to get small advantages over you. Your gun's easier to hit on him than it is on you. Your Gracie's easier to hit on him than Hook is on for you. If you do hit a Gracie and or he's down resources or you get a nade or discord, he can't just run away. You can. You have shout, you have carnage, you have ways of sustaining yourself and push pulling a little bit, right? Obviously, vape is really good for him as well, but you actually have the speed boost, at least until he gets the perk, right? So basically the way to look at it is that like if something goes drastically wrong, Roadhog is going to win every time. He has that big I win button, but if he doesn't get that big I win button, it's really easy for a queen to chip away at his advantages. Does that make sense? It's way easier to do more damage to him. He's just bigger, so Gracie's way easier to hit. And then also your ultimate is way more consistent at value. Way more consistent.
Gotcha, yeah.
So the way to look at it is like you're going to have these like really negative impressions of Hog from a couple moments in the game, but Hog has been quietly suffering every other fight, at least a little bit. You know?
I get you.
Yeah. Hog will give you cancer. You're going to give him a slow TB that's going to kill him in a year. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the way to look at it. You know, it's a big burst of pain. If you just don't get hooked.
I remember specifically this point. I was struggling because it was trying to like engage into a Sigma is weird.
Tough. It's tough. It's actually kind of the opposite, right? Like where if you yoink a Sigma and you got Shao Carnage, he dies often, right? So it's kind of like the Hog matchup, but where he can also just give you tuberculosis. You know, he's just going to whittle away at your HP, and there's not a whole lot you can do. So the key thing here is like, can I close the gap without getting my face blown up, right? Can I close the gap? We talked about it, Queen's effective range here. I want you to keep fishing with those Gracies, but you got to be super good with your cover usage. So where's your next corner now? And this is our problem, right? You're very much north-south. So before I shout in here, I want you moving forward to where? Can you see it?
That's like that building right there to the right.
Right, just get to here, right? Now from here, you can keep fishing with Gracie, keep fishing with shots, and if you do decide to north-south, run it down, the gap is, I mean, come on, what is it, like 8 meters closer, right? From here to here versus here to here? You know, 5 meters closer, whatever. Like that's what we're looking for, right? It's a whittling yourself closer, getting small advantage with Gracie, small advantage with cover usage and so on, and then just slamming the door shut with a commit, right? Your problem is that you're not very good at finding those short angles and using cover well. So when you do decide to slam the door, it is a bit of an int, right? Because it's just too far. It's just too far, right? Make sense?
Yeah, I can see it.
Even here, right? So once we get our HP back, where's the next angle from here? Like, let's say our Wuyong doesn't hit. Where do you go from here? It's tough, isn't it? What do you think? Might need to be creative here.
I like to pushing the stairs to the left.
I actually like that. I really do, yeah, because you can just get closer here. Like, look how close you can get. Now they're like, oh, well, they all back up to here. Okay, well then, where do we go from here then?
Probably like to those stairs that are going down.
You could go down, yeah, and go from here and then go to payload and then go from there and use cover here. I mean, let's not lie. Like, there's nothing that's going to make this feel like a very easy point for Junkerqueen. There's not a lot of cover.
Oh, yeah.
But you've done a good job kind of breaking it down. So do that, you know? Be disciplined with your cover, rotate effectively, fish with Gracies, and see if you can force a mistake.
I feel like I don't end up doing that and I just give them the space.
Yeah. Well, you're down 2, right? Like, you're down 2. But yeah, prior to being down 2, your pressure output was horrendous because you tried to go too far and or weren't using cover effectively.
Right.
Yeah, this is just a bit of a... Just not enough cover. You have to be so disciplined with taking space there because these characters on their team fall over once they get hit in the mouth. Fall over. But you got hit in the mouth first. And you're like, how do I hit him in the mouth? Well... Next step positioning, right? Next step positioning. Here we go. Yeah. See, if you hit a Gracie here, this person probably dies. That's the difference between hitting a Gracie here and hitting a Gracie here, you know? That's the crucial thing. It's even easier to hit a Gracie from this range. So you force him out. That's okay. At least we're close, right? We're closer. I actually think this is okay. Like, I think, you know, I like the stair rotation, but at least you got close here with cooldowns. That's all right. It's okay. The problem is you just got picked a little early and they have an ultimate and you don't. And then crucially, when things go south, what should you do from here? When things go poorly, what should you do?
Honestly, like probably regroup back to the team.
Just bail, right? Find your corner, right? Find your corner. This is how you disengage, though. It's you disengage this direction, but this is the direction of no cover. This is the direction of cover. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Like I think we've gone from beating a dead horse to now we're like cannibalizing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it really is the same thing over and over again. And I want to like crucially add that this is not like a really easy basic beginner error. It's not. Right. The basic beginner error is having no idea how to move or use your buttons as Junkerqueen. The reason this is difficult is because it's asking you to do the Junkerqueen thing of pushing, shooting, looking for Gracies, but to do it exceptionally well. That's what I'm asking you to do.
Yeah.
Right?
I see.
It's kind of like channeling that rage with utmost discipline, right? Of I'm not going to give you any unnecessary opportunities. You know, like what you did right there. Really good. Young came in, didn't take too much damage. We're going to shout. It's a little far away, but we are going to get closer. But probably to control the rage here, we probably should have settled here first. Thrown another Gracie, held the corner, look for another opportunity to go. You got me? Go fishing one more time and finish him off.
And then I get ran over here, I think.
Well, it's because you're not ducking behind corner. You know, you backed up, but we don't want to back up. We want to get to the corner. Because then if they walk into me here, I'll kill them. But now, Freya, Kiriko, Sigma, my health explodes. There is no cover here. Like, even as you back up to here, this is better, but it's still probably not as good as that one angle, you know? Okay. Yeah. Ah, you should have committed. You second guessed yourself. You know what? Honestly, this is okay. This is okay. I like this. Do we have cover? Yeah. Are we gonna get close? Yeah. This is good. Mm-hmm. This is really good.
Actually, not many people come down here very much. I've noticed.
I think I actually even like that better than this year. I think this is gonna be a little bit better. Let's see what happens. Yeah, look at that. Look how close you get. Miss a Gracie, which sucks, but we force a fade, which gets the kill. Immediately just walk onto Sigma. He has no idea we're even there. And now we're cooking. You see it? We got close. We rotated with cover. We win the freaking fight. Nice job. That was good. Oh, it sucks. Should still be fine, though.
Yeah.
Should still be fine.
Yeah, I struggle a lot with depth perception because I don't wear my glasses because they've snapped.
Not a problem. Nice. There's Suzu. You could ult this. Nice Carnage. And this is where I think you're probably pretty good, because as this Devolve fight just gets messy, you're going to shout, you're going to hit your shots, you're going to hit your Gracies. For the most part, you'll be fine. Yeah, good job. Yeah, nice. When it mattered, do you notice how much easier the game got once you closed that gap? Just easy, right? The question was, how was I going to be able to close the gap using cover? And to be honest with you, you failed that exam like 3 times in a row. You finally got it towards the end. I think you got a little help from your Freya, not going to lie. But to be fair, you did figure out this was absolutely a really creative and smart play to use cover and to get close. So you get at least partial credit for figuring it out, you know? Nice job. You know? Because, you know, the thing is, it's like, partial credit matters in Overwatch, right? It's not all about pass or fails sometimes, right? You can do the right thing, but do it not perfectly well, and it's still okay. Like, still going to help your team. Okay. Let's see how you approach here. Same thing here, by the way. This map is insanely difficult. Just find a way to get close to these guys sneakily. Like, I like this. Just go solo flank these guys. Solo flank them, you know? You might not get a kill here. They go nuts. What should you do when things get messy? Your HP is exploding? What do you do?
Just probably I go down, but I go down wrong.
Yeah, right. Just drop. You did a big boom explosions, death, Vietnam. You know, they just drop. Okay, grab a health pack, hide, chill for a second. You know, that's fine. That's cool. You're getting close. The problem is that you go down wrong, you go down late, you don't find cover in time, right? Again, the idea of what you did was like not only good, it was optimal. Like you really should go up here and try to get close, because alternatively, what are you gonna do? Try to shoot the Sigma while you're getting your face melted off by 3 different snipers? You got to find a way to sneak up on these guys, right? You're kind of the dive tank here, you know? So let's watch one more fight here, and then we'll give you some notes here. You can sneak through left room. You can sneak through payload. This is too far. So it's fish, but we need to find cover quick. Where else could you rotate from here? So instead of here, where else did you go?
Probably that little hidey hole to my right.
Yeah, get into here. Get messy with it here, and then decide if you want to go high ground or just punish Sigma for a little bit. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, let's see what you do. I don't end up doing that, and I get my face melted off here.
Right, and that's the problem. It's like you need to think about these situations. How can I sneak up? How can I get close? How can I find cover? Right, because this sucks. Yeah. This sucks. Okay, let's stop there and let's get some goals here.
I did notice that I worry way too much about being in LOS of my support characters. That is something that I've noticed that I'll boot up Overwatch in just a second. But yeah, I've noticed that it's like, I think as far as emphasizing on being an LOS of your supports, it's fine, but it comes at a cost of like being cowardly, if
Yeah.
that makes
Well,
sense.
okay. So here's a better way of thinking about it because I like that way. But what about this? It comes at your. Why do you want to be an LS support so that you can get healed? Why do you want to get healed
Yeah.
so that you can live? But what's the other alternative when you take off angles? You deny damage done to you, so you don't need as much healing. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I feel
what I'm
you.
saying is like it's not. I'm not really saying this is avoid your support sightlines. I want you to have your cake and eat it too. I want your supports to see if you can, and then I also would like for you to be near cover if you can. And if you have to choose one or the other, okay, maybe that's a difficult choice. Maybe that's something that you could go practice and experiment with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
But for the most part, like the biggest thing that we saw from you is like needs to be I'll give you the three things. Okay, number one, you got to focus on the cover usage, and then crucially after that, you're off angling, like little things to the left, little things to the right. While you're looking for cover, you might have to find off angles instead. Get close is the rule, right?
I can understand that.
Okay, the Junkerqueen specific thing. There's a couple of little ones. I think one of them was just, as always, you can always practice getting better with your Gracies, just being a little bit more precise, a little bit more slow with it, just slowing it down, number one. And then I guess more of the just general specific thing as well is just, I think, be very careful about over-focusing tank just because it's an easier target to hit if there are other targets available. Early on in King's Row, the only target that you could see most of the time was Rhine and Rhine Shield. So what do? You focus Rhine. Okay, fine. But be very careful about overemphasizing on that target. Make sense?
Yeah, I can understand that.
Last thing, which I know I'm throwing a lot your way, and I'll explain what you can do to practice these things, is be careful about giving up space to peel, if that makes sense. Be careful about
understand.
that. Hold your angle. So what we'll do is here's what I'll have you practice in the future. Okay, number one thing to practice, and I'd say half of your games. Covers and angles, covers and angles, covers and angles. Just think, where can I be? Where can I go? You don't have to fully even understand exactly what I'm talking about. You just need to experiment with it and get more comfortable with it on yourself. You've seen some examples of what I'm looking for. When I asked you, where could you go? Where could you be? You nailed it in practice and review.
I remember there was like you were mentioning about the cover usage on that corner of like first point. I could have probably like angled into that like room to where the Reaper was when I was like
Yes.
1v1ing him.
Yes.
There's a health
Yes.
pack in there. I could just use and abuse.
True.
And
right
off
there,
angling there.
yeah, and if they all run in there, well, then you can just keep running and keep running away, right? You still have that active shout. So that's a great point there, right? So yeah, be more experimentative with the off angling, but you're doing so because cover is so freaking important. So you got to be like, how can I get close to these guys with cover? How can I get close to these guys with cover? That's number one thing. Practice that decision. Even if you screw it up, just practice it. And then a certain percentage of your games, 15, 20%, just practice on being really slow and deliberate with your Gracies. Like try and hit, don't go for cross map shots. Go for the stuff that you feel like you should be going for and should be hitting, whether they're squishies or whether they're tanks. But try to practice reading movement, right? Make sure that your crosshairs aligned. That's the number two thing. And then beyond from there, what I would say is whatever you want to practice, whatever you want to practice. You can practice your mechanics with your gun. You can practice not giving up space. You can practice planning out your ults and so on. But I think I think your basic Junkerqueen sense of like how the character moves was by far your strongest point because you've just put more time into the character. Make sense?
Just trying to makes sense because I don't know if you noticed that the crosshair if you are
I see it. Yeah, we love that. We love that.
It's specifically for my knife.
Yeah, perfect. Well, then there you go. So then there's no excuse not to. I mean, you're going to miss knives no matter what you do, but there's no excuse not to at least have a close call for the enemy team.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, with the Gracie misses still partial credit, you still get a little of that ticky, so we might as well take it, especially with Willy Willy. So
that is true.
Okay. Any questions here?
As far as I can think of, it's just a matter of just a double check real quick. So it's just more like get more creative with my positions.
With your angles, yeah, like think angles, and the reason is so that you can get closer with cover without crossing 40 meters. I think the reason is the angles are valuable for Queen. The angles are valuable for everybody, but especially for Queen is like it allows you to crack those first point Hollywoods without your face blowing up. Because if you don't off angle, you can't get close without dying. You're just going to explode every time. And you saw it, right? It was just so painful. Heck, think back to third point King's Row, right? And that we were trying to prevent them from touching. We said, go on that right side with the Mega. Well, but also so that you don't stand in the open and get your face melted off again, right? It's just finding
True.
ways to use cover, you know?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a little too reliant on my backline,
Sure.
as opposed to just going for it.
Yeah, take an angle. And again, these aren't like crazy hard flanks. Like the thing on First Point Hollywood is probably like the craziest flank that you're likely to do with this character. And I guess a little bit of second as well when you went up the elevator, but that was good. Just it's all about the execution. It's all about the execution.
Oh, yeah.
You find cover. Can you find cover? Can you find cover? So, okay.